For this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do a decimal divided by a decimal. So if you notice, I have a decimal on the inside of my division garage and a decimal on the outside. Okay, when we're dividing, we don't like to have a decimal on the outside. So what I need to do is on the outside, I need to move my decimal 2 places to the right. If I do that on the outside of my division garage, then I have to do the same thing on the inside of my division garage. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. On the outside, right now I have 0.15. If I move it over 1 place to the right, you notice that the decimal on the inside also moved 1 place to the right. Okay, so I'm going to move it another to the right. So now I have a whole number on the outside. And now I look, my decimal is between the 4 and the 5. So it was originally between 0 and 6 on the inside of the division garage, and between the 0 and the 1 on the outside of the division garage. And now I moved the decimal on the outside, so I have 15, and now I have 64.5. So however many times I move the decimal on the outside of the division garage to the right, I do the same on the inside. Okay, so now that I have my decimal lined up correctly to have a whole number on the outside, I need to move my decimal to the correct spot in my answer. So now my decimal lines up on my answer. And then we start dividing like normal. So I'm looking at this, and 15 goes into 0 times. So I'm just going to put a 0 up here. Now how many times does 15 go into 6? Well, 15 goes into 6 0 times. So 0 times 15 is 0. 6 minus 0 is 6, and now I need to bring down the 4. How many times does 15 go into 64? Well, if I go 15, 30, 45, 60, that's 4 times. So 4 times 15 is 60. And now I need to do 64 minus 60, which gives me 4. Then I'm going to bring down my 5. So now I have 45. How many times does 15 go into 45? Well, just a second ago we said 15, 30, 45. So that's 3 times. 3 times 15 is 45. 45 minus 45 is 0. And so my answer for this problem would be 4.3 for my final answer. Okay, let's look at the next problem. So the next problem, I have a decimal on the inside of my division garage. I also have a decimal on the outside of my division garage. So I need to move my decimal 2 places to the right on the outside, and then I have to do the same on the inside. 1, 2. So as you notice, when I move it, it moves them both at the same time. So now that I have the correct placement of my decimal, now I need to line up my decimal and my final answer. And then I'm going to divide like normal. So how many times does 75 go into 3? Well, it doesn't. So 0 times 75 is 0. 3 minus 0 is 3. Then I'm going to bring down a 0. How many times does 75 go into 30? And that's going to be 0. So 0 times 75 is 0. 30 minus 0 is 30. Then I'm going to bring down my 7. How many times does 75 go into 307? Well, if I go 75, 150, then it's 225, 300, so that's 4 times. 4 times 75 is 300, so I'm going to put 300 down here and subtract. 307 minus 300 is just 7, and then I'm going to bring down my 5. How many times does 75 go into 75? And the answer is 1. 1 times 75 is 75, and 75 minus 75 is 0. Okay, so the main takeaway from this lesson is if I have a decimal on the outside of my division garage, I have to move it over to make it a whole number. So it goes all the way to the right of all these digits. And whatever I do on the outside, I have to do the same thing on the inside of the division garage. Once I move my decimal to have a whole number on the outside, after that, I line up my decimal in the answer for my division problem. So my final answer for this division problem is 4.1. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.